What is happening, fight fans? Get ready for the hottest takes in combat sports, because we've got drama, we've got predictions, and we've got the inside scoop you need to know. UFC's Valentina Shevchenko is firing back at Ronda Rousey's spicy comments about her OnlyFans career, and you won't believe the jab she threw back. Then, Jake Paul is making waves, boldly declaring the UFC is dying and his MVP promotion is here to take over. Is he right? Plus, Dana White just dropped a bombshell of UFC fight announcements, mapping out the main events through the White House card, and we're breaking down the explosive Khamzat Chimaev versus Strickland showdown with opening odds that are already electric. Don't miss a second of this action-packed update. Hit that like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single knockout moment.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the Pop Sockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Ronda Rousey's comments about fighters using OnlyFans have sparked a fiery response from UFC champion Valentina Shevchenko. These remarks come amid a broader discussion about fighter pay, with Rousey suggesting that the UFC's compensation struggles force athletes to seek alternative income streams. She specifically called out Shevchenko, implying her presence on OnlyFans was a direct result of inadequate UFC pay. However, Shevchenko took to X to set the record straight, explaining that her OnlyFans account is a platform for fan engagement, not explicit content. She also fired a sharp retort, referencing Rousey's own lengthy hiatus from fighting after her last defeat in 2016. Rousey, who is preparing for a return fight against Gina Carano after a decade-long absence, faced back-to-back knockout losses before her initial retirement. The back-and-forth highlights ongoing tensions surrounding fighter compensation and the evolving ways athletes connect with their fan bases. Fans are buzzing online, with many defending Shevchenko's right to monetize her platform as she sees fit, while others debate the nuances of fighter earnings in major promotions. Analysts are weighing in on whether this public exchange could signal a larger shift in how athletes leverage their personal brands outside the octagon. Will this online spat spill over into the octagon, or is it just the latest chapter in the ongoing fighter pay debate? Stay tuned as we dive into Jake Paul's bold prediction that the UFC is on its last legs. Jake Paul is making a bold claim. The UFC is dying, and his MVP promotion is poised to take over the combat sports landscape. With his brother Logan already in WWE, Jake Paul is confident that MVP, which is expanding into MMA with its first event on Netflix featuring Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, will eclipse the UFC. This event is historic, marking the first MMA fight streamed live on Netflix and featuring a stacked card including Francis Ngannou versus Philippe Lins. Paul voiced his opinions at a press conference, criticizing the UFC's current direction and emphasizing MVP's commitment to prioritizing fighters with better pay and platforms. He declared, "MMA is in a weird position right now and it's the Wild West. And I believe we have a massive opportunity here to disrupt the whole space and to put fighters first, get them the pay that they deserve, the platform they deserve. Because I believe the UFC is dying and MVP is here to take over." MVP's journey began with Paul's boxing success and has since promoted major fights like Taylor versus Serrano. The combat sports world is divided, with fans debating whether Paul's ambition is genuine or just promotional hype. Industry insiders are watching closely to see if MVP's fighter-first approach can truly challenge the UFC's dominance. Could this be the beginning of a new era in combat sports, or just a temporary disruption? Next up, Dana White has just announced a packed UFC schedule, and we've got the details on Khamzat Chimaev's next title defense. Get ready, fight fans, because Dana White has just unleashed the UFC's main event schedule through the first half of 2026, including a massive clash at the White House. UFC President Dana White has confirmed several blockbuster main events, solidifying the promotion's calendar. The headline news is the highly anticipated middleweight title fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Strickland at UFC 328 on May 9th. But that's not all. The schedule is packed with exciting matchups. Aljamain Sterling faces Youssef Zalal in a featherweight bout on April 25th. Arnold Allen takes on Melquizael Costa on May 16th, and Song Yadong will have a homecoming fight against Deiveson Figueiredo in Macau on May 30th. Welterweight contender Bilal Mohammed is set to face Gabriel Bonfim on June 6th. Plus, two major co-main events have been announced. Kyler Phillips vs. Charles Jourdain on April 18th, and Beneil Darius vs. Quillan Salkeld on May 2nd. This extensive schedule promises a thrilling first half of the year for the UFC. The fight community is buzzing with excitement over the stacked matchups, with fans already speculating on the outcomes of these pivotal bouts. Analysts are dissecting each fight, predicting potential upsets and title implications. With so many fights locked in, the UFC is clearly firing on all cylinders. But before we get to those fights, we're diving into the betting lines for one of the most anticipated showdowns. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. You won't want to miss these odds. The odds are in for a massive middleweight title showdown. Khamzat Chimaev is set to defend his belt against Sean Strickland at UFC 328 on May 9th, and the betting lines have just dropped. Khamzat Chimaev, undefeated at 15-0, secured the middleweight title by defeating Dricus du Plessis. His formidable grappling and relentless pressure make him a significant challenge for any opponent. Sean Strickland, a former champion known for his striking and resilience, earned this title shot after a series of impressive performances, including a win over Paulo Costa and a recent victory against Anthony Hernandez. Strickland's path to this rematch has been challenging, including losing the title to du Plessis and then reclaiming his position. The prevailing narrative is that Chimaev's ground game will be the deciding factor, forcing Strickland to rely heavily on his takedown defense. DraftKings Sportsbook has opened with Chimaev as a significant favorite at -410, while Strickland is the underdog at +320. This matchup pits Chimaev's dominant wrestling against Strickland's striking prowess, creating a compelling stylistic clash. Sports bettors and fans are already dissecting these odds, with many debating whether Strickland can overcome the favorite status and Chimaev's undefeated streak. Analysts are breaking down the stylistic matchup, predicting how each fighter's strengths will play out in the octagon. Can Sean Strickland dethrone the undefeated king, or will Khamzat Chimaev continue his reign of dominance? Stick around for our full breakdown of these incredible fights and more. And that's a wrap on today's action-packed news. We saw Valentina Shevchenko clap back at Ronda Rousey, Jake Paul declare the UFC is dying, Dana White drop a massive fight schedule, and the opening odds for Chimaev versus Strickland are here. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more exclusive combat sports content, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let us know your predictions for these fights in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms for behind-the-scenes access and more. We'll see you next time.